lap away from the start.
It was that Waltrip that spun out through the front. They're full.
Benny Parsons, this is Ken Squire here at TV Control. Were you close? Were you the one that kind of did the dance around number 11 when he spun and blew the engine? Having a little trouble getting the communication through to Benny Parsons in car number 55.
Did you hear Ken Squire trying to talk to you?
That's the crew passing the word along here. Let's see if they're getting down and set to go again, if they're going to take one more lap before they turn them loose here. I believe, yes, we see the light flashing. There will be another lap.
Squire?
Benny Parsons, Ken Squire here at TV Control. How close were you to that incident over there between turns 1 and 2?
I was the next car right behind Darrell Waltrip. I got in this oil and went out through the turn. But luckily, I didn't hit anything before I got back on the racetrack.
There's the story from Benny. Let's wish him a lot of luck as he continues to go out there and begins to have the major malady of this track in the transmission department. Here's Chris Economaki.
Oh, Darrell, excuse me for interrupting, Junior. A long walk back, huh? Yeah, it was disappointing. I thought I had the car to win with today. It was running very well, and the best car I've had out here in a long time, particularly in the race. And just sorry that the Budweiser Chevrolet didn't win today.
What happened specifically?
It dropped the valve, I think. Been turning it pretty hard, and probably broke a valve spring and then dropped the valve. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Mother and father-in-law.
Well, you covered up the track with a bit of oil, I gather. There was some Gil-Hooey behind you.
Chris, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I tried not to.
Okay, well, you take it well. Darrell Waltrip, real sport, smiling, and car owner taking it nicely, too. Back to you, Ken.
The 1979 and 80 winner of this event, Darrell Waltrip, who will not be around at the finish of the Western 500 today. They're one lap away from a start. You can see them running through the speedy dry, where Darrell doused the track. Allison first, Gant second, Labonte third. It is Benny Parsons now fourth, Bodine is fifth, Earnhardt is sixth, Tim Richmond is seventh, Neil Bonnet is eighth, Bill Elliott in ninth as they prepare for a restart. World Championship Wrestling will follow if time allows on Superstation WTBS. So there'll be another tussle if we get through this one.
It certainly will. Much reminiscent of this race here, it looks like.
They've really been wrestling these monsters this afternoon. Track really green after the rain this morning, just about the time they wanted to get it started. Brought all the rubber out of the track. Start fresh. There you see the field coming up through turn number 6 on this 9-turn track.
Darrell Waltrip, Ken, is the most recent retiree from a race in which a couple of earlier retirees have returned to action. Kyle Petty got underneath the car with his own wrenches and fixed his machine, which had a broken left front tie rod. He's repaired that car. He's back in action. And likewise, as we mentioned earlier, Ron Bouchard's team has replaced the clutch, and he is back into the combat. A significant point about this yellow flag, it came short of the point that will enable these cars to go the distance from here. We're working lap 74. When they get green, they'll start 75. They will need one more pit stop under green, if the race continues under green, in order to make it the distance. They don't have enough fuel to go to the checkered flag from here.
And Dave, they've just decided to go an extra lap here. Apparently the track was not coming up the way they wanted to at turns 1 and 2, so they're going to have to turn another lap before they turn them loose. Allison will be in front, Harry Gant will be in second, and it will be Labonte in third, with Benny Parsons in fourth, Bodine in fifth, when we settle down for racing once again. We're just back under green. They have just taken the flag on the back straightaway, and as they sprint down into turn number 9, here you see Bobby Allison in the lead of the Western 500, live today on Superstation WTBS from Riverside, California. The number 88 car running just in front of the leader, lap down, Rusty Wallace, Rookie of the Year. There he is going to that speedy dry and covering the windshield of number 22. Harry Gant lies right behind Bobby Allison. Bodine is in third, Parsons is in fourth, and Terry Labonte is in fifth. And Gant and Bodine at this time, or Gant and Labonte, must be thinking about that number 11. If the Junior Johnson engine can expire like that one did in just such a heartbeat, it could happen to them and nix their potential for winning the championship.
It certainly can. You can believe that Harry Gant and Terry Labonte both will be shifting at somewhat less RPMs than the other cars, because they have to conserve that car. They have no chance but to do that.
And Gant is in a must-run, almost must-win situation here, and yet he has to play it a little carefully. He has to stay in this race. Richard Brooks is 10th overall as we review further back in the field. 11th is Joe Ruttman. 12th is McGriff. 13th is Richard Petty. 14th is Miller, and 15th is Dave Marcus. Here are the leaders. It's Allison in the white, red numeral number 22, staying first. Right there in second spot is Harry Gant, and here comes Jeff Bodine, the Hendrick car, working on the Hal Needham number 33 as they come around that ninth turn another time. From one of the grandstands. Of course, at a road course, most folks don't stay in the grandstand. They like to walk around in the infield, go to various corners. But here at Riverside, the stands are well filled today on a rainy, cool day in California.
We got a crash in turn 9.
Car looping in turn number 9, and I believe it's car number 6.
I believe it is. Doug Hebron, number 6.
B.K. Ulrich's car with Doug Hebron driving today, looping, and there is not a caution coming out. He is able to get started and back underway. Leaders going up toward turn 6.
It appears as though he has very little damage, if any.
Doug Hebron back underway, and here are the leaders. Harry Gant just about 2 car lengths off Allison as they come back into turn number 8.
Tim Richmond moved up into 4th position ahead of Benny Parsons in 5th.
I think there is Richmond pulling up. You just see him in the back of your picture. Richmond into 4th. Still a factor in this race. He had trouble early in the going. He made a comeback here.
Labonte also has got by Benny, so Labonte's up to 5th and Benny 6th.
And that's that transmission problem beginning to make itself very evident on car number 55.
It certainly is. It'll hurt him a little bit every lap, Ken. That's really unfortunate.
Here he is, Benny Parsons back in 6th position. Labonte directly in front of him. I don't know if the cleaning the windshield helped or hindered that last time. Here he is for turn 9. Gant is beginning to make a run on Allison as they go through turns 1 and 2. Here's Dave Despain.
Terry Labonte looking solid there in 5th spot as we watch him with our Vision Group camera, Ken. He has driven a masterful race here today. He's done exactly what he has to do. 7th place will clinch him the championship if Harry Gant wins. Harry is up there in striking distance of the lead, and so Labonte sits in 5th spot, weighing the field in front of him, knowing exactly what he needs to do to take home the championship. At age 28, he's driving like a seasoned veteran of this game, and he's got the title in sight.
There is Allison up in front. Gant in 2nd.
Jeff Bodine in 3rd. He's showing some muscle that he hasn't been showing thus far today. He's looking very strong. He's staying right with Harry Gant and Bobby Allison, the 2 leaders.
Richmond in 4th. 5th place car, Labonte. We've seen a lot of cars looping and going off here. Riverside Courseway into the dirt. Earlier, Bobby Allison talked to us about what can happen to a car when it gets off the course.
Well, any number of things can happen. The most common thing is you're very likely to get a flat. You run over some of the trash that's blown off to the side of the track or else pushed off to the side of the track. And, you know, it's one of those things that if you get further off the track, you could go in a bump that has a severe edge to it. It could bend the toe in or pull a brake cooler off the car. And, you know, it can go right on from there.
Bobby Allison talking about the hazards of trying to stay on this very tight, like a monopoly board out here. And you can start to buy Park Place and find yourself in dire straits.
They look like a snake going through the edge of it, don't they, Ken? All the cars in line look just like a snake.
And the competition is so good. Here you see them. You've got 7 cars all gathered up to the lead with 40 laps to go. Bobby's in front. There's Harry Gant in that 2nd position. There's Jeff Bodine still scrambling in here in 3rd. Tim Richmond is right back in it. He's won this race a couple of times in 4th. Labonte lies 5th. Benny Parsons is there in the next position back 6th, and right behind him Dale Earnhardt. And there's Earnhardt just getting by Benny Parsons. From the Copenhagen car, you see Dale Earnhardt wrangling his way into another position. Earnhardt has competed in this race 6 times. He's 2nd in 80, 3rd in 81, 4th in 81, 4th in 83. We mentioned earlier, he's only led 4 laps in this race, but he's been consistent out here time after time. Really having to be very ginger on that steering wheel to favor that car a whole lot. Here comes Gant again, taking another shot at Bobby Allison. Gant looks like he has the muscle to go into first here. Allison's having to do a little defensive driving to fend him off.
Certainly, Harry's running a strong race. He knows with Terry, he can see Terry Labonte in his mirror 2 or 3 spots back, so he knows he has to get to the front. There's no other way.
And try to draw him out. Then hopefully the man that expires is not the 33, but the 44. It's a pretty fast chess game they're playing here today at Riverside, California, to decide the championship, the money, over $10 million total in stake, all the posted awards they give. And now I have another car, they say, coming down that is stalling on the track. Another vehicle in trouble.
That's the exit of turn 8, looks like, on the inside, just to the right of your screen.
So still Allison there. One of the Winston West drivers, could be that number 61 car that's had a little trouble earlier in the race, has had the same problem another time. Scott Miller, we'll see. Allison gets a breather. Almost 8 car lengths. And Harry Gant took a deep breath and took the breather back. Bodine stays third. Richmond hovers right there, 5 car lengths back and forth. If somebody makes a miscue there, you can give this race to Richmond to tie those front 3 up in a medal ball. Among the latest retirees, we now have 9 cars retired. Bound the latest. 8th out was Waltrip. Krebs was the 7th. The number 78 car, Robinson, is retired. The Winston West battler for the championship out there. Milliken has gone away. Ron Esau, Bobby Rahal, McRae, and Phil Parsons. First man out.
That's
something to that, Phil.
Not a real distinction I'd like to have, Ken, but I have enjoyed being up here in the booth with you.
Here is Terry Labonte closing up on Tim Richmond, and there are the front 5 all gathered together as they approach turn 8. And there is car number 44. His father, his brother on the pit crew, and the young man originally out of Corpus Christi, Texas, so close to winning the championship. And this really changes the old guard. As we see Allison a year ago, one of the giants for so many years, now well back in the standings, and this youngster, 28 years old, he'll be the 2nd youngest driver ever to win it, Richard Petty, if he holds out here and continues to run like he is right now. Now there's Allison, last year's champion, about to have his crown appropriated by that man, a number 44, Terry Labonte.
If he doesn't have trouble.
And that if is in capital letters as large as your TV screen. Car number 64, Dwyer getting lapped. There's the story of the attrition in this race. Those who are in the high-rent parking area of this track. Parsons, McRae, Rahal, Esau, Milliken, Robinson, Waltrip, Krebs, all falling down, having trouble one way or another. And they've added to that now one more, which is Bound, who saw his car having trouble and scrambling off the back straightaway with the rear end in trouble. 5 cars are gathered together. This could be the best finish. We always start talking about could-be's, and it's always a little earlier than it should be because one pit stop left for many of these cars could change the situation. But isn't that a good-looking race as we get down to the finish of our live coverage with now 82 laps in the book of the 119 to be run today.
This is one of the finest races I've ever seen at this racetrack, Ken. Never this late in the racetrack have I seen 5 cars just running nose to tail for the lead. 36 laps to go and they come by. When did you first come out here? I came out here back in 1970 when Benny first ran out here. I've been here probably half a dozen times, and it's really a neat racetrack. And this is the first time I've ever got to go around the racetrack in a race car, so I hope to come back next year and race here. Bobby Allison continues to circulate in first place with Gant in second. Bodine is making a challenge. Bodine is going to take second place. It is Jeff Bodine taking second place. Gant falls to third, and closing up is Tim Richmond. There's the move. It's car number 5, 22 leads, and number 5 just back in second place is closing on the leader. We'll be back with more live coverage from Riverside, California after these messages. This is the battle for the lead in our live coverage. Here is Jeff Bodine going for first place at turn 9 of Riverside Raceway in California. With Phil Parsons, Dave Despain, Chris Economaki, Jerry Garrett, I'm Ken Squire. As we wind down toward the finish of the 1984 Winston Cup season, Jeff Bodine throwing everything into it now as he goes after Bobby Allison at the start-finish line. Allison in first, Bodine in second as they clamber back toward the S-turns. Bodine looking for just any kind of room as he goes after the old master. Here they come into turn number 2.
It's still Allison first, Bodine second, Gant third, Tim Richmond in fourth, Terry Labonte is fifth, Earnhardt sixth, Benny Parsons seventh, Bonnet is eighth. We're watching the battle for the lead. In ninth is Elliott, 10th is Richard Brooks, 11th is Rutman, 12th Herschel McGriff, 13th Richard Petty, 14th is Lake Speed, and 15th is Trevor Boyce. Back they come for turn number 8. Harry Gant, you see him there in third, getting around a lap car. He was passed by Bodine, and Bodine, Phil, looks to be as strong as anything on the racetrack.
He certainly does. He actually looks like he's got the strongest car on the racetrack, but Bobby Allison's an old master using the racetrack. He's making it awfully tough for Jeff to pass. Jeff will try to pick his way by, and he could drive away from Bobby Allison.
Let's see what he'll do coming into turn number 9. Jeff Bodine in that number 5. He's won $320,000. The spark's getting a little brighter. As darkness begins to settle a bit, Bodine trying that outside move. Let's see if he'll switch it over. He pulls up, going into turn number 9, that tricky, treacherous 9th turn. There's Allison. Here comes Bodine on the outside. What a race for the front position. Bodine, with a high line out of turn number 9, takes it right to the wall and not able to get through.
That's a tough place to pass on the outside of turn 9, Ken.
Jeff Bodine looking for his 3rd win of 1984, and what a way to do it for the Rick Hendrick crew out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Crew chief Harry Hyde, and he is wired. Mark him as one of the potential champions for the future. This man, number 5, Bodine. Bobby Allison holding him off another lap up through the S's. There's Harry Gant lying 3rd in the maroon car. In 4th, in your picture, is Tim Richmond. Have 6 cars in the bundle battling for the lead, and these two stay right on the point. Gant waiting back there in that 3rd spot. Back to turn 8. Allison. If it's going to happen, I would think it would happen in turn 9. Long straightaway. There's Jeff. Dad was a racetrack promoter, got him started early.
Jeff's car really bottoms out very, very badly, and right underneath the tunnel you can watch and see the sparks fly.
He dropped back for a moment, and he is back about 5 car lengths from the preceding lap. Let's see if here's Bodine just diving in there, but not making the ground. I believe Chris Economaki has a report for us. Let's go to Chris.
Well, there's another race going on here that the pitmen are really interested in. It's the Ingersoll Rand Pit Crew Championship with $30,000 at stake. And right now, Benny Parsons with 3 pit stops is leading with less than 2 minutes in the pit, 112.46 seconds. Harry Gant with Chief Travis Carter has 4 pit stops, 135.01 seconds. That's about 2 minutes and 15 seconds in the pit. This is what all the pitmen are interested in because it's substantial money posted, and there's going to be one more pit stop, which could alter the standing. Now to Davis Bay.
Benny Parsons and his team came here specifically to try to win that Pit Crew Championship. Meanwhile, in the race for the biggest championship of them all, the $1.3 million championship of the Winston Cup, Terry Labonte with 4,498 points. If he continues to run in 5th spot, Harry Gant 4,466 if he stays 3rd, and the difference would be 32 points. 32 points, Terry Labonte would win the championship if they finish in the order they're running now. Let's go to Jerry Garrett.
We're down at Jeff Bodine's pit with crew chief Harry Hyde. Jeff showing a lot of strength in this race. Harry, how's it going right now?
He looks real good, and he doesn't seem to have any problem right now. We're just biding our time. I think he can take Allison when he gets ready.
What's your pit stop strategy the rest of the way?
Well, if we don't have a caution, we got to stop once more. I think everybody has.
About when will it be?
I'd hate to guess on that. When he hears it splutter, he'll tell me, and we'll look for him.
If he hears it sputter, he'll tell me. Now, there is some real planning going on, and that is not the case.
I'd hate for it to sputter in the back 40 over there, Ken.
Let's review further back in the field. The 16th position is now being shown as Scott Miller, and in the 17th position is Dave Marcus. 18th is Bill Schmidt, and 19th overall in the race is Greg Sachs, and that would move him up into the 20th position, I believe, and give him that $12,000 that he's looking for. He can beat out Cale Yarborough and Buddy Baker in the standings. $12,000 for 20th place in the Winston Cup. He's making a determined effort in that direction right now. And back of them is Ricky Rudd. He's showing up in 20th at the present time. So here's the leader, Allison. Let's check the laps for you as Jeff Bodine gets ready. You heard Harry Hyde say it's just a matter of when he wants to move up in front. Do you believe that?
I think Jeff Woodine would like the lead right now, Ken. It's been extremely tough to get by Bobby. Jeff's made several attempts at it. He doesn't seem to be able to do anything with him.
88 laps of the 119 to be run complete, getting down to the three-quarter mark with 90 complete. Still, Allison commanding here. He's the one that's won it 3 times, trying to win it 4. Richard Petty has won it a couple of occasions, and, of course, Darrell Waltrip won it twice. Back they come out of turn number 1. They really lean him over out there. It's got to be a totally different feeling than anything you usually do. It's so experienced in oval racing to come out here and thrash around in the desert.
It really is, Ken, and you see that the people that are good oval track drivers also make good road course drivers. So what that says, basically, Jeff Woodine just ran off the racetrack, but didn't lose much ground. Is if you drive a race car on an oval track, you can drive it on the road course. Anywhere you can take a race car, the race car drivers can do it.
Here's Chris.
I'm back at Bobby Allison's pit, and here's Gary Nelson. Gary, Harry Hyde, Jeff Bodine's crew chief, just said that Jeff can take Bobby anytime he wants to. I wonder if you agree with that. And the second part of the question is, sometime in the next 8 or 10 laps, you're going to stop. Will you take the time to put on 4 tires, or will you just put on 2?
Well, we really haven't decided yet on what we're going to do on the pit stop. It won't be long before we do stop. You know, there's been a lot of them have taken a shot at us so far today, and we seem to be leading, so we'll just see where we are on the last lap.
Okay, confidence being shown by the young Californian who has done so much for the Zygarde team with Bobby Allison at the wheel. Back to you, Ken.
The STP Pit Communications Center, watching that frenetic activity on pit road is what this position is all about. And I'll tell you what, that action is going to be spectacular because like so many Grand National stock car races, this one is going to boil down to a pit stop battle. Both the lead cars, Harry Hyde's machine with Jeff Bodine at the wheel and Gary Nelson's car with Bobby Allison driving, have got to make one more stop. They're 2 car lengths apart on the racetrack. The pits will be the difference. Let's go to Jerry Garrett.
Dave, the time that pit stop is going to come is a real mystery, but we got a tip from Harry Gant's pit that he will stop about lap 105. That's a little longer than the other people can go, but he's going to get 1 tank of fuel, 1 can of fuel, 18 gallons, and that's about all that he's going to need. Whether they take tires or not depends on what the first guy does. If the first guy in that group comes in and takes tires, the rest of them are going to have to stay competitive.
Let's watch Jeff Odine's car here down the backstretch. There's a very bad dip in the racetrack. His car is really bottoming out, and sparks are just absolutely flying.
Jeff Bodine in the 2nd position. He's won 2 races this year.
There it goes. There it goes right there. Ooh. His car must be a little bit too low.
Looks like it warms the seat of his pants.
It certainly does.
And there's a terrific battle going on a little further back for that 3rd position. Gant is beginning to be challenged by the Tim Richmond number 27. They're the 2 leaders. It's the 22 car of Allison first, the 5 of Bodine maintaining that 2nd position. And behind them comes the number 33 and the 27 continuing to have their own war for 3rd place. We'll be back with more on that story from Riverside, California, after we pause for these messages as Bobby Allison leads the Western 500. 2 leaders just narrowly avoided a major scrape at turn number 8. It looks like there may be some oil down. J.D. McDuffie's car has spun off, and he's collected a car that looks like Neil Bonnet over there.
Sure is. That's Neil Bonnet off the racetrack. Dale Earnhardt also had some trouble getting through there.
Here's Bonnet getting set to go again. That's J.D. McDuffie's car number 70, and here comes car number 90 spinning at that same place. So there must be an oil down condition. Number 90 running in 10th spot. Richard Brooks getting through. There lies McDuffie right on the outside of the track. Benny Parsons pitted a moment ago and came back on the track.
I think it was a scheduled pit stop for the last time. Kenny took on left side tires and fuel. He should be able to go the rest of the way.
Looks like we have it. Let's look again at what happened here. Here are the 2 leaders coming to turn number 8. There's McDuffie spinning in car number 70. And as the car whips the back end back on the track, notice how close Allison, the leader, comes to well, it wasn't there. There's Greg Sachs spinning. We have another car spinning. We need to look again at that because immediately after, car number 70 came to rest right there. Allison got by a hairbreadth. Neil Bonnet wasn't so fortunate. Let's look at it again. Here they are approaching turn 8. McKnight's car 83, then 70. McDuffie spins. Looks like he's clear, but he gets back out on the track, and here come the 2 leaders.
Just barely getting by, just barely.
and the back end of number 70 then collected Neil Bonnett's car. That's how close it was for Allison to being out of this thing or down.
That's one of the things about this racetrack, and you never know when trouble can jump up and bite you.
Caution coming out. They're going to put the caution out because they can't get McDuffie's car out of there. Let's see. I bet we'll have Bobby Allison on pit road right here. They have a caution out on the track. There is caution out, and let's see if Bobby Allison and Jeff Bodine don't take advantage. Here they come, both coming on pit road.
Big factor here, Ken, because they will both have the opportunity to do whatever they want to the cars. They've got a yellow flag.
Here's Chris.
Nosing in, and let's see what has happened. Okay, the outside, the left side tires, a windshield change, a drink of Gatorade, men leaning over, 2 cans of fuel again, and we're going to wait and see if they bring the jack around to the right side. Where they're going to, yes, it's going to be a 4-tire change. And, you know, this is Paul and Bobby Allison's own words, rebuilding the car. He's going to be all set to go. And once these men step back over the wall, unless another emergency develops, their work for the day has been done. And away he goes. A beautiful stop for leader Bobby Allison.
Allison is away. He looks like he has the field handled at this moment, but this is far from over in one of the most exciting races we have seen at Riverside, California. Leaders still all bunched together. 7 contenders that can win it right down to the wire, Phil Parsons. It's as good as it gets.
This will be an extremely good race, Ken. This will be the last pit stop schedule for all the cars, so it'll just be a matter who gets the best set of tires, who gets the best chassis combination, and it'll be a shootout from here.
All right, we'll review the front of the field for you in just a moment after these pit stops have taken place. Our congratulations right now to Greg Sachs. He's done it. He needed 47 points. He's way over that, running up at 19th. Better than 100 points there, and that would give him that $12,000 prize in the Winston Cup standings for 20th position. For a driver like Greg Sachs, who's made such an effort this year, that's worth coming to California for. That's real California gold.
It certainly is. J.D. McNuffie got back underway, as we saw on the TV screen, so he's back underway. He must not have let the oil down, but I think the car is just spun trying to avoid J.D. McNuffie.
Current Winston West points leader, and he's also the rookie leader in his first year. Freshman driver, car number 95. That is Derek Cope out of Tacoma, Washington, who is on pit road making a tire change on his car. He is on the last report well down in the standings here. He was not showing in the top 20, according to our statistician Bob Blackford, who's really doing a handful here on this road course. There's Greg Sachs, number 51. 12 grand richer, one of the first decisions to be made in the Winston Cup battle for 1984 in favor of Sachs over Cale Yarborough and Buddy Baker. I bet he feels pretty good about that.
Yeah, it does. 2 pretty good contenders to beat.
Now they're showing Allison for first and Bodine for second as we get this field unraveled after this pit stop. Rusty Wallace, leading rookie, guy who aced you out of it, Phil. How do you feel about that coming back on the track?
Well, Rusty had an awfully good year. He ran more races than we did. We knew going in we were at a disadvantage, but we just decided to do the best we could and let points fall where they may. But Rusty has outpointed us. But you know, a lot of the races we ran that we did run, Rusty was virtually uncontested. So basically, but Rusty did have a great year, and I commend him for that.
Missouri driver. Off the short tracks in the Midwest.
I need the running order of the top 5 or top 6 or 7.
All right, Dave. It's Bobby Allison first, Jeff Bodine second. And this is unofficial for the moment. Richmond in third. Pace car is picking up the field. Now they're getting them gathered up. There you see them. Richmond in third. Lamounty in fourth. In fifth will be Gant. In sixth will be Earnhardt. There's Greg Sachs' car. There's the front 5, and then the 7th position now, as we have it, would be Bill Elliott, Benny Parsons in 8th, Herschel McGriff in 9th, and Neil Bonnet in 10th. Again, the front 4, Bobby Allison, Jeff Bodine, Tim Richmond, and Terry Lamotte. I think we may have a look at what yes, the old drive shaft trick here.
That's the pinion for the rear end connected on the right side of the drive shaft.
So it came apart, and there ended the day for car number 70. Here's Chris Economac.
Well, I just had a talk with Jim Inselaw, who's standing by in Bobby Allison's pit, about driving in relief for Bobby Allison. I said, how bad do you think his shoulder really is? And he said, well, they came to me Friday, and I've been coming by every few laps to see how things were going. And he said, you know, when you're leading, things don't nearly hurt as much as they do when you're not leading.
Boy, there is a point for that. No question
is.
about it. If you're back about 7th or 8th, that hurts just frantically. But when you're out in front, pretty good day, no problem.
It has a way of easing the pain, Ken.
8 cars now out in the race. 3 Chevrolets, 1 Pontiac, a Ford, 2 Buicks, and 1 Oldsmobile have hung up their helmets on their drivers today. Here's Dave Despain at the SCP Pit Center.
Ken, let's quickly update the arithmetic on the Grand National Championship. That arithmetic all adds up to $1.3 million that will be distributed at the awards banquet December 7th at the Waldorf Astoria. Jerry Labonte currently running in 4th spot. He has led a lap. His total, if he stays there, 45.03. Harry Gant is in 5th spot, and he has also led a lap. His total would be 44.56. And as you can see, Labonte would easily win the championship if they stay in the positions they are now. But we're about to go back to green flag. Chassis adjustments have been made. Tires have been changed. We're ready for the charge to the championship here as we wrap up the 1984 Winston Cup Series.
Richard Petty is back off the pace at the present time, David, and the story on number 43 is that he may be having a clutch problem on that car, and we need to check that out down along pit road. Number 43, Richard Petty, may be having a clutch problem, and there you see the cars running through the dry chemical they lay down to pick up fluid late on the track.
It takes several laps, Ken, to work that speedy dry or whatever material that is into the racetrack. It can be pretty slick for a couple laps, so they need to get it worked in as much as possible prior to going back to green flag.
I would wonder if that part came off McDuffie's car. No, that looks like an oil down situation up in turn 8.
It certainly does, but you know, as I mentioned before, the pinion was connected to the drive shaft, so the rear end grease probably came out of the car.
How much is in there?
Usually about a gallon, but a gallon of rear end grease can make an awfully big spill.
Here's Jerry Garrett.
Well, Ken, we just talked to Harry Hyde and asked him what Jeff Bodine's strategy was going to be the rest of the way. He said he was going to see how Bobby was going to run in the next few laps. If he could take him, he would, but otherwise he'd wait till right at the end. Harry says catching him's one thing, passing him's another.
Passing Bobby Allison is always a big another. 1 lap, and they'll have green out here and be back underway. There's Allison in front, and there's Bodine, who has caught him, but now he has to deal with him. And that is a big bone to bear it. Car number 27 lies in the 3rd spot. Tim Richmond, Terry Labonte 4th, Gant 5th as they get ready. Light comes off on the pace car. Riverside, California, already getting dark out here. They're racing against the sunset as well as the field out on this 2.6-mile track as we get down to the finish today. Allison has come back once. Let's see if he can do it again. They say the car that dropped that drive shaft was car number 14. Car number 14 was the car that came down.
I saw J.D. McDuffie get back underway, so I knew it wasn't his drive shaft.
Harry Goulart's car dumped the grease out of the transmission as well and rear end as well, and created this situation where we've had another caution today. That would be the 4th caution of the afternoon, 4th caution of the day. 12 lead changes among 5 drivers. Folks down in Florida that follow the WTBS coverage. Our next event will be the 24 Hours of Daytona, coming to you live in the early part of February, and then we'll be with you at Richmond, Virginia. Richmond, Virginia, the week after the Daytona 500. You'll see it flag to flag on Superstation WTBS. All right,
green flag is out. Bobby Allison in the lead, Jeff Bodine 2nd.
And line 3rd is Tim Richmond, and he gets around this track very well. They will complete 98 laps, and look at those sparks flashing out from beneath those cars as they come over that dip.
Jeff Bodine's car, again, seems to be bottoming out worse than any other car here. Harry Gant's car also bottomed out that time, but not nearly as bad as Jeff Bodine's.
Here comes Richmond, closing up on Bodine. Richmond down into turn number 9. He closes up on the white number 5. Bodine a little offline, and Richmond pounces out of the rear of that car. Allison 1st, Bodine 2nd, Richmond 3rd. As good as it gets. All these drivers fighting for the lead. Here's Bodine taking a shot. There you see Labonte line 4th. He's still very much in it to take it out. Gant line 5th. Championship as matters stand. We'll go to Terry Labonte right here. Driving on eggshells out there is Terry Labonte. One miscue. One engine malfunction, and he can feel it all slide away. Can he stay out there, keep that car going for these final laps, and take the crown at 28 years of age? It has been the crown of elder statesman of the game over the past decade. This could change it all today as the revolution begins in American motorsport, and the youngsters begin to edge and shoulder those great veterans all over the side.
There's one thing about it, Ken. Harry Gant can see the Winston Cup Championship right out of his windshield, with Terry Labonte directly ahead of him.
Tim Richmond looking as strong as anyone there, and probably Terry Labonte just willing to watch those drivers up in front of him for the moment. We'll be back with more of the exciting conclusion to the 1984 Winston Cup season live on Superstation WTBS in a moment. 19 laps to go. Terry Labonte has moved into third position, dropping Tim Richmond to fourth. The battle is for the lead. Number 5, Bodine, twice has come underneath Bobby Allison, but has not been able to dispatch him. Once in turn number 9, he's drop-kicked him. We're down to it. It is a frantic fight to decide the last race of the year. Bobby Allison in this $290,000 shootout trying to fend off that white and red number 5 of Jeff Bodine as they flash down that long back straightaway headed for turn 9. It all could happen here. Bodine sets his man up. They come up on a back marker into turn number 9. Bodine falls just a little bit back and now closes in there again, Phil.
The last time they went through this turn, Jeff Bodine gave Bobby Allison a pretty good shot in the rear end. So Jeff Bodine wants that lead. Bobby doesn't want him to have it.
Here he comes. He tries to get down underneath as they come back to the start-finish line. Another time it is Allison in front. Jerry Garrett, what's the Bodine strategy as we get down to the finish?
Well, he's going to run it as hard as he can. Now, Harry Hyde says that sparking in the exhaust pipe track is no problem. He says, I've been raising the car all week. Every time I raise it, Jeff just drives it in the corner harder.
Well, he's certainly driving it as hard as it's been driven all day right now. The Hendrick, number 5, on the move, pulling up on the 22 Allison.
I'm really surprised at Terry Labonte. He's staying right with the two leaders, and they're setting a furious pace. Labonte may be trying to win this race.
No stroker for the champion this year. No, sir. Not a smidgen. Labonte is in there to win it right to the finish. Here he is, running right up in front. He's not cruising. He's racing. Number 44, Labonte, is just 3 car lengths back. So much at stake for him. But he's thrown caution to the wind, and he's pulled right up to challenge the leaders.
Terry Labonte wins the championship. He wants to do it with style, and he is doing that today.
Down they come. On the outside, trying to find a little bit of running room. Bodine for the lead. Labonte looks him over, realizing that if Bodine clambers up on the rear bumper and they get into an altercation, he could be in first or he could be in the wall. Richmond still lies fourth. Gant lies fifth. Here comes Bodine again, and look at him. Someone tapping gently on the old back door. That is Bodine at number 5. He pulls almost alongside the start-finish line and falls back a car length. Here he comes off 1, where Bodine seems to be so strong in that Harry Gant, or rather in that Harry Hyde prepared car.
Bobby Allison is doing a masterful job of using the racetrack cup. Jeff Bodine appears to have the stronger car. Bobby Allison is not giving him an inch of racing room.
Gant 5th, Earnhardt 6th, Elliott 7th, Parsons 8th, Bonnet 9th, McGriff in 10th, Rutland 11th, Brooks 12th, Trevor Boyd 13th, Richard Petty 14th, Bill Schmidt running 15th.
Do you have contact with
Here they are, back down for turn number 8. Again, Jeff Bodine closes in on Bobby Allison. Out of turn number 8. Getting just a little dark out here now, and our picture's beginning to indicate that. 4th place car, Richmond right back there. Tim Richmond getting in for a very good finish at the end of this year. Latest update. Here comes Bodine another time. 9th turn. He's there. Allison holds the inside.
He really gained some ground in the 9th turn. That's his strongest part of the race course right now. But Bobby Allison just not giving him any room.
Sideways out of turn number 9 comes Bodine. He means to take this race. Win number 3 for him. Showing sparks as he goes up into turn number 1. Bodine. And flashing his colors, Terry Labonte, who must feel very good about himself now as the laps run out. Look at Labonte. What a champion he's going to make. The quiet Texan on the attack. The laps trickling away.
Terry Labonte may have the strongest car in this race right now, Ken. He's just sitting back watching, but he may make a move right here real soon.
104 laps complete this time by of the 119 to be run. There's no sense going anywhere but here. This is where the action is, right up in front on a road course, if you will. They're running just as tight as they do on the super speedways. Down they come in the back straightaway another time. It's still Bobby Allison's race to win. Bodine trying to take it away, and Labonte stays right there and holds on in third spot.
The back straightaway will be Jeff Bodine's best place to pass Bobby Allison. He can't seem to do it, but if he does get a shot down, and he can beat him in the turn 9, then he'll have the lead.
What's going on in the Labonte pits right now, Chris Economaki?
Yes, Dale Inman at crew chief, but Terry was going to sit there or go for it, and Inman replied, he's not saying.
Battle for the lead. Here they come out of turn number 9, and Allison still in front of Jeff Bodine, who tried to sweep on the outside, now cuts back low as he crosses the start-finish line. Bodine trying everything he knows to win this race. Putting another lap on Morgan Shepherd in the 98 car. Allison stays first. Jeff Bodine in second. And Morgan Shepherd off the track there for a moment.
Moved off the track just to give them racing.
Here comes the 27 car attacking. That's Richmond up the inside. Richmond moving into third spot. Dramatic change of events. Here comes Richmond. Throwing caution, and the car sideways and to the wind through turn 6. He is on the attack. 4 cars battling down to the finish now.
This is just an unbelievable race, Ken. Here we come to the last race of 1984. We've got about 4 cars that really have a shot at winning the race.
Well, here they are on national television and showing their colors well today. Allison leading this pack, the veteran, and some youngsters scrambling, trying to take this win away from him in race number 30. Here comes Bodine. Bodine closes in another time as they get into that 9th turn. The laps trickling down, darkness beginning to settle in. That could be a factor. And here comes Richmond. Richmond closing. It's still Bodine there as they come off turn 9. Let's see if he'll make his move. He holds second spot. He pulls up. He gets it cocked a little sideways. He thrashes for turn number 1. And it will still be Bobby Allison in first place as we move into the waning moments of the event. Stand by for the exciting, dramatic finish to the Western 500 from Riverside, California.
Fast and straight without cutting up the surface or yourself.
But darkness may stop this race early. It is getting very dark. There is some fog rolling in, they say, to the turn 8 area. And it is a race against the sun as much as it is a race against this man, Bobby Allison, who is leading a frantic, frenetic pace as Jeff Bodine continues to try and apprehend him and win this Winston Western 500. In third is Richmond, fourth is Labonte, and we've seen a lot of races over the years here in Riverside, California. And the old saying goes, doesn't get any better than this.
It certainly doesn't. Jeff Bodine desperately wants the lead. He never knows when this race is going to be stopped because of darkness. Even if it runs all the way through, this is not like an oval back in the southeast. The slingshot doesn't really work as well here as it does in other places. He wants to lead. He can hold them off from there.
Time after time, Jeff Bodine has been repulsed by this man, Bobby Allison, out in front. But he's resurgent. He comes right back. Here he is attacking as they come up into turn number 6. Not giving an inch to Bobby Allison. And again, car number 44, Terry Labonte, lying fourth, is very much there. Richmond has pulled up dramatically. He's come into third. They've run in this particular layout for the past 5 laps, and you must think that Richmond has a little bit more that he wants to show before it's over. Remember, he's been a factor here time after time when we came right down to those last 2 laps.
Chris Economaki, has the pit crew contest been decided?
Well, it looks like it, unless there's another stop. Quick champion and Benny Parsons have taken top honors, and Harry Gans, Suchi Travis Carter are right behind. A close one right down to the wire.
$30,000 at stake for one of those teams. Inching up, Bodine by 3 car lengths back. Getting very dark now around the track. Actually, some of our pictures make it look much brighter than indeed it is here at the facility. You can see those lights in some of the houses adjacent to Riverside International Raceway, and that's really indicative of the conditions we're getting.
You can see the fire out from under Jeff Bodine's car and tell how dark it is, too, Ken.
Car number 44, Terry Labonte, reports having trouble seeing now due to darkness. Sure, he'd like to get this race over and have that championship sewed up and go on to the Waldorf Astoria in 3 weeks for that big victory dinner and carve up that pie to really give him some serious bread. Leader Allison.
One of the problems here, Ken, is if you start the race with dark goggles, and as dark as it is outside now, you really can't see. But if you have clear goggles on, then at least you can see as good as everybody else can with clear goggles.
10 laps to go. Next time by. 10 to go if it is not curtailed early. And that could happen. NASCAR officials, Bill Gazaway, Dick Beatty, Bill France Jr. here, and they're scrutinizing this very carefully as we're running down on time. And from that scoreboard, you get an idea of the brightness. Camera's having trouble holding focus, and there you see the sparks shooting out the back of that car that you couldn't see before. They were there, but now just so much clearer.
Jeff Bodine, as Harry Hyde mentioned, it's probably just the tail pipe that shouldn't cause any problems, but it does put on a pretty good show for the spectators.
A patient Tim Richmond lying third. He made his move, pulled under Labonte, and now as they come by, there are 10 laps to go, and I doubt they can go all the way to that checkered flag the way darkness is settling in here this afternoon.
As we watch Allison try to hold off Jeff Bodine here, you've got to wonder about Tim Richmond. We recall here a year ago when late in the race, he and Darrell Waltrip got into a fender-banging altercation that sent Waltrip off into the weeds. Richmond is a frustrated race driver. He has not had a good season. He very much wants to close this year with a victory on this racetrack where he runs so well. And I'll tell you what, Bobby Allison and Jeff Bodine better keep a close eye on the mirrors because Richmond is there.
Richmond indeed is there. You see him right now 4 or 5 car lengths back. Tim Richmond still lying there. There's staffing people right now, incidentally, Phil, to call the finish here due to the darkness. They've added some extra people in scoring, we understand.
Tim Richmond got a bad break. He got caught behind a slow car through turn 8, so he's lost a little bit of ground.
Well, if Bobby Allison makes one wiggle, Jeff Bodine will have him for dinner. Bodine lying there. He's reeled him in a couple of times, but he has not been able to. Here he comes again. I tell you, you know drivers like yourself, this fellow Bodine, the man up in front is 28 years old as of Friday, Labonte. They're going to keep that tradition of great competition going for years to come in this form of racing.
We hope so, Ken. It's an awful lot of fun. There's some great people in racing, great young people. And it should be very, very strong for years to come.
And it's such a great learning experience. I don't think anyone is more open than Bobby Allison. And he'll tell you, your brother is a great example of that. And over the years, naturally, Richard Petty, always available. We got one car.
That was Jeff Bodine, the second-place car, ran off the racetrack.
A little dirt tracking for a moment there. Bill Elliott's going to be a factor. He lies 6 in years to come. He lies 6 in this race, the winner last year. Gant is back in 7. Benny Parsons is in 8. Neil Bonnet is in 9th. Herschel McGriff lies 10th. Joe Ruttman 11th. Richard Brooks in 12th. Trevor Boyce is 13th. Bill Schmidt in 14th. Richard Petty in 15th at the present time. Now that didn't help the effort of car number 5, Ace Hall, running off through the weeds.
There was a slow car in his way, and he would have had to follow the slow car all the way through the S's. He just took a shortcut and skipped that corner.
Coming out like Roy Rogers here, trying to cut him off at the pass. Now you see that lead builds up for Allison again. Shadows, well, not shadows, just darkness settling in here with a complete cloud cover. You're with us early in the day. We have one car looks like it's losing a motor as it came out of turn number 9. Here's Allison back across the line. We've got a real smoker coming in. It may be the Richard Brooks number 90. Indeed it is. The Junie Donlevy car is out of the race. And remember, that is one of those new Ford engines.
It's on fire. The car's on fire.
Coming to a halt. Exploding. As it comes to a halt, Richard Brooks ready to bail out.
Very unfortunate way to end the year, Dick Brooks in the Chameleon Sunglass car.
Back for the finish of the 1984 Western 500 in a moment.
The stuff.
The Western 500 is being brought to you by Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light. It doesn't get any better than this. 7 laps remain. Bobby Allison stays in first. Jeff Bodine is in second place and doesn't seem able to contain that leader. Let's see if we can find out why. Let's go to Dave Despain.
There is a very dark forecast for Jeff Bodine, Ken. We heard the earlier comments from Phil Parsons about the tinted goggles. In reality, Jeff Bodine has clear goggles, but the car has a tinted windshield. And Harry Hyde, the crew chief on that car, says Jeff has radioed in. He says he cannot see well enough to pass Bobby Allison. He's afraid he's going to have to settle for second spot unless something happens to Allison because it's so dark out there, he can't see well enough to pass him.
Tinted windshield, perhaps the problem that will curtail Bodine from taking a win away from Bobby Allison today. That's the story right now.
It's really too bad, Ken, because he drove his heart out. He wanted to win another race with the Rick Hendrick team, Harry Hyde team, and it looked like he might have done it, but unfortunately, a little dark glass stood in his way.
Darkness on the desert out here in California as Allison stays in front and the laps trickle away. There will be 5 to go is the report next time by. Dale Earnhardt just pitted with a left rear tire down, which has dropped him back from the standings. Richmond lies third. Terry Labonte stays fourth. And if he can hang on, he'll win the championship. Bill Elliott is in fifth. It is Benny Parsons in sixth. Neil Bonnet lies seventh. Gant is in eighth. McGriff is in ninth. And we're waiting for a report on where car number 3 lies in all of this now. We still have 10 cars in the lead lap. Checking on the lead lap situation here. 11 cars still in the lead lap. 11 cars, and there's the second place car. Number 22, Allison, into turn number 6. Now's when they need their headlights. We'll see those in 24 hours in Daytona come February. You know, for a lot of these drivers, it isn't over at all. Terry Labonte loads right up and goes to Daytona Beach, Florida, to run in a sports car race. The International Motorsports Association closes out their season next week on the 4-mile course at the Daytona Speedway. On the road course, he'll team up with the car owner Billy Hagan, drive a Camaro down there.
That'll be a good celebration for him, Ken.
Trust that Gene Felton is watching today. He's feeling better, and our best wishes to Ernie Moore, longtime of the Atlanta International Raceway, who's out here the last 3 or 4 days ago, has been hospitalized. If you're watching Ernie, all the best from everyone here. Down to the finish, getting to those final moments of this race.
The last close-up we had of Jeff Bodine's car, Ken, you could see the right front brake rotor glowing red. Jeff is using his brakes. He may not be able to see very well, but he's still doing all he can do to be in position in case something happens to Bobby Allison.
Well, Richmond has backed up a little. Richmond is slowed down considerably. He has dropped almost 7 seconds back, and car number 44 has dropped down. I think the darkness is as much a problem here as anything, not just the wear and tear of the race. Well, they can't see out there. Our pictures are not indicative of the darkness that has settled on this track.
It's really an unfortunate way to end this super race, Ken. But you know, we're lucky we got it in at all. It really looked bad this morning. We had a lot of rain, but we are going to manage to get it in, and the championship will be decided today.
Let's see how Benny Parsons is viewing this race. Man up in front of him, snapping that car through Billy Elliott. Bill Elliott in the number 9. They're battling for 5th position right there. That is the scramble for 5th. Elliott is holding 5th. You can see him sideways into turn 6, with Parsons trying to close on him with his transmission breaking up. Sparks flying. You think they'd have some bombs to go off and some fireworks when this one's over. Here comes 5, closing. On the outside, Bodine is making his move. He's going by Allison as they come into turn number 9. At turn 8A and 9, and Bodine is taking the lead as we get down to the finish. Well, they threw us a curve, and here comes Allison. He's going to pit.
He must have a flat tire. We'll have Chris Economics check on that. Looks like the right front tire is flat.
Right front tire is down. They're already setting up for victory lane. Allison comes in as the darkness gets deeper, and Bodine is now in front. As Casey said, it's not over till it's over, and this one isn't over. Allison on pit road. Looked like he had it all won. The new leader is Bodine. Tim Richmond is in second. Terry Labonte is back to third. Elliott's in fourth, and Benny Parsons finds himself fifth. Here's Allison back on the track. As he comes out, he's just behind Harry Gant and Herschel McGriff.
That's really a shame, Ken, for Bobby Allison to run as well as he has all day and to have trouble like that to set him right at the end of the race. But his misfortune is Jeff Bodine's fortune.
Gant 7th, McGriff 8th, Allison back to 9th, Rutman in 10th as we wind it out. Now it's Bodine's to win, and they say he's driving blind. Tinted windshield, bespattered by oil and rubber as he comes around another time and the laps wind down. Here's Jeff Bodine, the leader. Remember, 119 makes the race, and it could come prematurely. They're showing 116 complete. I believe it'll be 117 this time by. He'll have 117 down, and there should be a 2-lap indicator on Bodine. What an outstanding comeback, and what misfortune for Bobby Allison. He's won a few million in racing, and this is one of the new Lions who's chewing away at this Western 500, and right now has a pretty good grab on first place. He has about 7 seconds over second place. White flag next time by. This will be something if Bodine can get back in it and take it out of the fire this afternoon after it looked like it was all over, and he had no chance of apprehending Allison just a few moments ago.
Tim Richmond seems to be out of contention for the win unless something major misfortune happens to Jeff Bodine.
Well, we're watching Bodine here. It's happened to a lot of people today. Waltrip looked like he was going to, at one time, almost run off with this race. He seemed to have the track handle. He seemed to have the power. And Bluey, away went the engine on his car. Now Allison is seemingly headed all his way. He's had a tire go down in the last moments. 1.5 laps left to run. Bodine trying to win it. Here he is, circulating back down into turn number 9. Great race for Jeff Bodine. Can he hang on and pull it out?
This will be Jeff Bodine's 3rd win of 1984. Just a tremendous year for a new team.
Won the Sovereign Bank 500 earlier this year. And he also won that Pepsi 420. He's done very well on the short tracks.
White flag, 1 lap to go.
There it is. Down to the final lap. 12 different winners this year. Bodine has already collected 2. This will be the biggest one of all for Jeff Bodine. He'll have a new look on his car in 1985 when we see him at Daytona International Speedway. Second place car is the number 27. It is Tim Richmond in the 2nd position. Here's Bodine trying to hold on for the win. Just coming off turn 6, Richmond just entering it. Labonte 3rd, Elliott 4th, Parsons 5th. Been some scramble, dramatic all afternoon. The lead has changed time and time again. 13 lead changes between 7 drivers today. Last lap for Jeff Bodine. The Hendrick crew hoping that it's all going to finish for them. He is in 9th position in the standings. He will hold off Ron Bouchard. That's going to make a major difference in point money for him as they come down to decide it. Terry Labonte on his way to winning the championship. Last lap, last time for Bodine. What a surprise. What a comeback for Jeff Bodine today. Checkered flag ready to fall. And the winner of the Winston Western 500 today at Riverside, California, is Jeff Bodine. Taking his first breather of the afternoon, Jeff Bodine. We'll be meeting him in Victory Lane in just a moment. The winner of the last race of 1984, Bodine in car number 5. Jeff Bodine is headed for Chris Economaki at Victory Lane. We'll try to get a word with Terry Labonte, the new national champion of stock car racing, before we leave you today. It's very, very dark here at the track, but what a magnificent finish to a great season, Phil Parsons.
It certainly has. Bobby Allison looked like he had the race at hand, as Darrell Waltrip had earlier. But anything can happen in this racetrack, and it certainly did. Bobby Allison had a flat tire, and Jeff Bodine emerged victorious. Terry Labonte ran an awfully strong race, finished in 3rd position, and won the championship.
Let's go to Chris Economaki.
Okay, the number 5 car is just rolling to a stop here, and it's almost dark. They're unhooking the screen, but Jeff Bodine has got a smile as wide as his face here, and we can see now this tinted windshield that was such a factor in the closing laps before Bobby Allison had that flat left front tire that sent him to the pits and assured Jeff Bodine victory. Jeff is undoing his helmet, and there it comes off, smooths his hair. He doesn't really have too much hair for a young man, but that doesn't bother him now. Let's see if we can get him out here to have a word with him. Old Harry Hyde. Hey, Harry, congratulations, you old man.
Thank you, thank you.
This young man's game here. I guess the toughest run for you today was from the pits up to Victory Lane.
That's right. It's getting a little bit far when you got to run a half a mile to Victory Circle.
That's right. Okay, let's get your guy out of there. We're running out of light here. And they're taking the steering wheel off the car, doing everything one-handedly. Taking your car apart, Harry.
Ran out of light about 20 laps ago.
Yeah. If I could get by here. Take a deep breath, Jeff, and there he is. Here's our winner, ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Bodine. And look at the flashbulbs going. How about that? Easy on the car. Oh, how are you feeling?
Wow, great. I can't believe it. Brand new car. The guys at the shop, Bobby Jones, my brother, Cheech, Frank, all those guys built this thing in about a month. And it worked perfect today. Harry Hyde, the guys in the crew, did a super job. B&R competition engines.
Did you ever think it was going to end this way?
Well, I'll tell you what, Bobby Allison would have won the race if whatever broke didn't break.
Well, you had a flat right front tire. What about your windshield? We heard that you had trouble seeing.
Well, they kept forgetting to wash it, but they washed it on that last stop, and I could see good. But Bobby ran a good race. He would have won if he hadn't had that flat. It's a shame, but that's racing.
That's racing. Every lap you were bottoming here in front of the pits, giving it a good solid hit. Was that a worry for you?
That was spectacular. Puts the show on here at night. Night racing is unusual in NASCAR.
Okay, though. Jeff Bodine, the winner, getting the congratulations from his wife. A happy scene in Victory Lane. And now back to you, Ken.
All right, we'll be back. There's Jerry Long congratulating the man who has won the race, Jeff Bodine, and his wife, Kathy. And we'll be back to meet the national champion, hopefully, in just a moment here at Riverside, California. We are in hopes of getting a word of the new national champion, Terry Labonte. He has been swarmed by well-wishers down along pit road here as darkness settles in over the Riverside International Raceway. You can see some of the lights on over in the garage area. Before this race was over, they swapped the lead 13 times among 7 drivers today, and they averaged some 98 miles per hour. 11 cars finished in the lead lap. They were Bodine first, Tim Richmond second, Terry Labonte, the new national champion, in third spot. Bill Elliott came home in fourth, and Benny Parsons stuck it out for 5th position. Neil Bonnet was 6th. Bobby Allison had to settle for 7th. Finishing in 8th was Harry Gant. Herschel McGriff was 9th. Joe Ruttman came across 10th. Earnhardt on the bottom end of the lead lap in 11th spot. There you see the victory celebration continuing down there. The trophy for the race being given by Jerry Long to the winner of the event today. That's Jeff Bodine with a big smile. So happy about his 3rd win for Rick Hendrick and company. Trevor Boyce got 12th, and 13th was Bill.